YT setup. We're going to see if we're going to get some traction over there tonight. If we don't get any traction over there tonight, I'm probably end up deleting it. But yeah. What the thing say? You can manage AI summaries and settings. I'm so sick of them coming all in my live and stuff. Like, ugh. All right, so I got you can see in the view, I got the overhead facing down on the table. And I got the phone facing this way. So this one right here is YT. And here we're on TT. I could have sworn I did. Okay. I did flip it back. I did it back. Girl, you know if it want you be saving me. I got to get my fan, y'all. Because even though I got my hoodie on, I still I'm gonna turn my fan on, y'all. All right, y'all, I had to grab my fan really quick. Hey. How are you? What have you ladies been up to? I had to go to Brownsville yesterday, update my son's school records. So I was on the road doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get my thing working today. Is it gonna work? Hold on. I wasn't trying to do that. There you go. I'm gonna see if I can get my thing working today, y'all. Let's see if it's gonna work. Y'all know. Did I turn it on? Hold on. Y'all, if my thing is messing up. Oh, wait. Y'all, TT done did something to these little things, I think. I'm gonna see. It done did something. I ain't gonna worry about it tonight. So, what have you been up to? Shamika, what have you been up to? Look, I got to make sure I don't be forgetting the names. I be forgetting names, matching it with the TT names. You getting ready for the Galentines? I haven't even touched on it. I think somewhere in December, I think I did one graphic for this month. School, you said school as usual. Woo, you ain't got long. Let's see. It's Wednesday night. I've been missing for a hot minute. I'm trying to get myself back into it. Whew. You said April can't get here fast enough. Oh, let's see. We got anybody over here on YT? We ain't got nobody over here on YT yet. I wanted to do FB. I got to get another device so that we can do FB as well. Because, yeah. But yeah, I want to do a daily plans notepad. Instead of doing it on the side, we're going to bind it on the top. And I did it for 31 days. I am going to list it on the site, but y'all, this is not going to be the cover, okay? I literally just put something together so I can come on tonight. But I'm definitely going to end up changing the cover. I'm not doing that. But these are the two I printed out for tonight. For some reason, I'm not feeling it. But you know, y'all will tell me. Y'all will tell me. Where is Angelique, Pam, Miss Vanessa? Cause she be on TT. So where's Miss Vanessa, Miss Teresa? Miss Teresa be on TT too. So where all my ladies at? I don't want to do this one right here, y'all. Oh, guess what I found, y'all? Guess what I found. So y'all know this is my favorite, right? Y'all know I can't do any work without this one right here. And y'all will see me grab this one sometime too. Y'all, guess what I found? Y'all know I love my tools and my gadgets, right? The perfect fractional ruler is acrylic. It's see-through. Can y'all see? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. See if y'all can. Hold on. Can y'all see the fractions in between? And then I got the little one. I got the little 6-inch one. Man, let me get a sheet of paper. White. Here we go. Look, y'all. Y'all know I love my gadgets, and I told y'all if I can find me a acrylic one with my fractions in between, y'all know I was gonna grab it. Y'all know I was gonna grab it. And then the little one, the 6-inch, I think it's 1 inch by 6 inches. Is it turned right? Let me see. Look, y'all. Look. Y'all know I was ecstatic when I found this, right? Man. Yeah. But tonight is going to be a quick one. I've been in the background watching everything. TT has made so many changes, y'all. A lot of people not getting their views. They're not getting people in their lives. TikTok shop owners, so much has changed for them. I think that's why I didn't open up another TikTok shop. TikTok is getting stricter. Now you got to have the barcodes, and I forgot what the other code is called. I think this is just another way of TikTok trying to weed out people. Welcome in. Good evening. And yeah, it's getting stricter and stricter. It's getting harder and harder. And I don't know what's gonna happen. But hey, we are here. Y'all, we're gonna create our notepad. I'm gonna go over the materials that I'm gonna use. We're fixing to get back to our normal daily routine, y'all. What this thing say? Some comments in live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Y'all, I literally just got on here. What? Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I get another device, we would definitely be more on FB and the YT. Y'all stay tuned. Let me see if I can share really quick the live stream over here on YT. Good evening, Michelle. Good evening. We are getting ready to get started. Um, I'm gonna say join us live. Uh, back to basics. Uh, daily plans. Notepad. All right. I'm trying to get us over here on the FB. Our audience is going to be public. We're going to share. We're just going to go ahead and share. Okay, so I can close that out. All right. So I got a notification going out for FB. YT is up. I don't know how slow it's going to be, but we're fixing to get ready and get started, y'all. Okay. All right. Maybe I should have said join us on YT. Yeah. All right. Hi, Pam. Hi, Erica. There, my ladies. How are y'all? I miss y'all. Okay, so we're doing a it's not a mini, I'm gonna say more like a medium size daily plans. I'm gonna call it like a monthly because it's 31 days, so you'll literally have one each day. Okay. And we had a couple more to come in. So this is what it looks like. I did it in landscape form because I want to do the binding on the top. And I printed out 2 sets. I still don't know what I want to do for the cover, but I just threw something together just to get through the live tonight, y'all. So the materials we are going to need, let me go with the tools. Tonight, I'm going to use my old cutting thing tool for my chipboard. I usually use the rotary cutter and my ruler. You're going to need some scissors. If you don't have a cutting tool, of course, you'll need any type of X-Acto knife, box cutter. Again, your scissors, but you'll need some type of cutting tool to be able to cut your chipboard. For your measuring, y'all know these two are my original Old Faithful, which is the perfect fractional ruler, and this is the perfect fractional measuring tape. Both of these are, of course, linked in my TikTok storefront. Grab it. I do not do any work without this. Y'all know me, you know. I have a new tool, which is also fixing to be my new bestie. Hey, Vanessa, how are you? This is going to be my new bestie, y'all. This is the perfect fractional ruler, but it's acrylic. It's just like this, except for it is see-through. So if you are ever measuring something on paper and you know how you can't see through this and you need to see where you're lining everything up, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, I did go ahead and list this in the in my TikTok storefront. So replace TikTok with the Azon, and you know what I mean, because we can't say certain stuff on here. So this should be listed in my TikTok storefront. And it comes with the 1x6 inch. And for those who are just coming in, I'll put it up against some white paper so you'll see what I mean. You cannot go wrong for the individuals. Hey, there's a lady. Hey, Angelique. So as you can see, all the measurements are inside, just like this right here. Y'all, this is going to be my new best friend. And again, here is the 1x6. Now, I do have this one right here. This is a 12 inch by 1 inch, but as you can see, it does not have all the little fractions in between, but I will still use this. But I'm telling you, grab this for real. All right, so we got our measuring tools, our cutting tools. If you have a cutter for chipboard, now I have specific cutters for my paper, and this is the one I use for my cutting board, for my chipboard if my hands are bothering me. You will need some type of little pokey tool, something to kind of smooth out your sticker paper. And I think that is all we need for our tools. Now, of course, our materials. I'm using 2 twin wire, and I believe these are a 1/2 inch. We're going to be using a cinch machine. I have 2 pieces of my 50-point chipboard. You can use 20, 30, whichever one you prefer. Magazine board is also good. It's 24 point. So it's in between the 20 and the 30. But if you prefer your 50 point, grab your 50 point. You're going to need I need to get a couple more of these. You're going to need your graphic images, whether they are being designed by you are printing them off on glossy sticker paper, matte paper. You're going to need your front and back covers. You're going to need your interior graphic image. Tonight, we're just going to use some plain white. This is actually just shipping label paper. Sticker paper, label paper, whatever you want to call it. I need to grab 2 more of those. And the last thing, of course, is going to be your interior pages. Again, I did it in landscape because I want to bind this on the top instead of on the side. Let me get my other 2 pages. Okay. I just got stuff blowing everywhere. So I think that is it. Now, my pages, if you want to write these down, if you want to see an overtop view, y'all go to or check out YT. If you want to see a downtop view of everything that's on the table and what I'm doing, the live is up. YT. Do you see all the inserts? This right here is actually going to be a complete notepad. Now, within a couple of days, I do have a template bundle where I have, I think, like 70 something different interior pages in there. Just give me a few days and I will have that uploaded. And I'm talking about from monthly to daily to y'all help me out because some of you all in here, I think you already have the bundle. Calendar templates. It's like 70 different templates in there. It's a variety of a lot. So give me probably about 2 days and I will try to get that back up on the site because I've done a rebranding and I had to remove a lot of stuff. So now I got to reload a lot of stuff. You're welcome. I'm definitely going to get that back up. This one in particular, no, let me see. No, that's another one. That's another one I'm thinking about. But this one is going to come in a complete notepad. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so Measurements for these, if you want to, just do a size like this, do 10 wide by 7 high. And you design, however you want to put, on your interior pages. The chipboard is going to be 7 1/4 high by, I got myself writing this down. Let's see. I think 7 1/4 high by 10 1/2 wide, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then the images that I'm going to use tonight, these are going to be on 8 1/2 by 11 landscape. Okay. And then for the interior size, I'm going to measure that once we get everything pulled together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new ruler, and I'm just going to take a pencil, and I am going to mark. I'm going to line my 0 marking up. Now, a lot of people are having like real problems trying to learn how to use the perfect fractional rulers. And basically what you're doing is you are lining up that 0 mark right along the beginning of whatever it is that you are starting at. You're going to take that 0 mark, you're going to line it up on the edge. And again, I said this is going to be about 7 1/4. So I'm just going to put a little marking right there, just big enough for me to be able to see. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom. I'm going to line that 0 marking up again. And I'm going to make my little marking right here, which is 7 1/4. Now this is going to be my height. Okay. Now, if you don't have a cutter, you would basically take your ruler and you would line up your top marking that you made and line up that bottom one. Take your cutter, whether it's a box cutter, X-Acto knife, rotary cutter, and then you would trim. So I'm going to use my trimmer here, and I only use chipboard on this because of the type of blade this is, and I don't want it to mess up and rip paper. So I only use this for my chipboard. Now this one doesn't have anything to like hold it down, so you need to make sure you watch your fingers and apply some pressure to it when you get ready to cut. Now this is a 12 by 12, so I am just going to flip it. I'm going to remeasure it, which I said was 7 1/4 right there. And I'm only doing this because I have to flip it, okay? Just like that. And I'm going to trim off. So the next one, I'm just going to cut with my rotary cutter. And maybe because let me make sure I measure this right, y'all, before we move any further. I want to make sure my height is 7. I mean, not 7, 7 1/4. So it is 7 1/4. 7 1/4. Let me look at that one more time. No, it is not. It is not. So by this not being a 12 by 12 cutter, I'm going to sit this to the side because it messed up my cutting, and I'm just going to cut it by hand. I'm going to sit this here. I'm just going to get another piece of chipboard. So yeah, Now I do have a 12 by 12 cutter over there, but that's strictly for my paper. So I'm not going to use my blade on that. So we're just going to try this again. And I'm going to do 7 1/4. Now I can, it is so valuable to have different tools depending on what you're working on. Seven and a quarter. And this is going to be by 10 1/2 wide. And I'm basically taking the 1/2 inch on my ruler, lining it up at that 1/2 inch mark just to make sure that I stay in line. I'm just lining it up on my mats. And these acrylic rulers, they are slippery. So be really careful because they will move on you. And before, another test that you can do before you move on to your next project, take one of your interior pages and lay it on your chipboard to see if it fit the way you want it. It's not too short, it's not overhanging, it fits perfectly the way you want. And this is how I want mine. I want about 1/4 inch on each side and at the bottom. It can be flushed at the top. I'm okay with it. So I can move this out the way. What everybody got going on? Y'all don't be sitting in the background. Now, y'all already know, TT said if there is no engagement, this is not me, this is not my rule. If there's no engagement, y'all, they are ending people's content creators' lives, like for real. So, y'all engage, come on in, click the follow button, share your daily heart needs, share the live. All right, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to repeat that. I'm going to do 7 1/4. Just like that. And then 10 1/2. Line it up. Just like that. And just take both of your chipboards, put them together. Just kind of make sure they are both fitting the same as best as possible. Look. I don't know what they are. Well, it's already happened and it's happened gradually, but it's so many people are falling off over here. And they, between the YT and the FB, that's where everybody's going. Like literally. I've even watched several videos where a lot of content creators over here are saying that their FB has been dormant for so long. They over there working, getting their FB back up because this ain't it. I mean, like the work that they were putting in over here, they finna tone that down and they fixing to stop putting that work over there on the FB and their YT pages because it's crazy. Okay, so now we got our chipboard cut. I'm going to grab, which one I want to grab? I'm going to grab this one first. Now, if you've been here before watching my tutorials, y'all know that I like to pre-crease my my images. Not my images, my front and back covers. I like to pre-crease them. Now, my rule of thumb is I prefer a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. I do not like working with less than a 1/2 inch, but since my I don't have ink for my wide format printer, I had printed my images on the 8.5 by 11. So my left and my right sides are going to be shorter than a half inch, but we're going to make it work. I don't like it, but we're going to make it work. I am eventually going to get some ink for my wide format printer, which is the Epson, what is it? 7820. It's the Epson 7820. All right, so I'm centering this, and then if it moves, just kind of put it back slightly. I'm going to put some pressure, and I'm just going to kind of bend it up. And when I do this also, when it comes time to clip my mine of my corners, it gives me a little corner right there. I watch people on FB Live for hours with no issues. I know. That's I am working diligently and hard so that we can start doing more there. I got to get another device because I got this device for the YT, so I need a device for the FB. So we'll be on all three. Working on the IG. IG, you got to have 1,000 followers. So working on that platform, y'all. I got to which is really difficult when you're trying to run everything and then you got to learn how to do other stuff. So I got to learn how I can get a system set up to where if I am posting on one platform, that it just automatically for me go on, a post on the other platform. And if I'm not mistaken, I think TikTok is the only difficult one that doesn't want to give you like links and stuff so that you can just automatically do that. Like, yeah, they are really a problem child. So I'm just going to repeat that. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to center this as best I can. The left and right is going to have less than half an inch, but we are going to make it work. Make this move it up just a little bit. So other than Sean working on her Galentine, what is everyone else working on? Have y'all checked out the generator? The one I just did was the Bible, the crossword puzzle Bible quiz generator. I was so surprised at that one. I watched a creator who had 3 devices going at once and was live on all. That's what I'm working on, Vanessa. I am so working on that. If y'all engage with me, it'll help me. It'll help me get there. But I'm working on it. I promise I am. I'm definitely working on it. And those of you who know, y'all know, I'm literally the only one doing everything. And then now I got like a family kind of emergency situation that I'm dealing with. So, yeah. Look at Angelique done pop back in here. I didn't know you left out here. Okay, so we got our front and we got our back. We're going to take our little pokey tool and I am going to lift up this backing. Well, before I do that, you can do either or. I'm going ahead and miter my corners. You can lift your backing off and then you can miter your corners with your chipboard on there, or you can, do it afterwards. I think I'm going to do it the way y'all are used to me doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing. Because I know if I switch it up, Y'all be like, she normally don't do it like that. But as long as your outcome is the same, you're good. And also, if you want to, oh, you didn't leave? Okay. Also, if you want to laminate your front and back covers, make sure you do that before you peel your backing off. Laminate it first. Now, my ends are short, so I'm going to use some extra double-sided tape just for a precaution, just to help it stick down and stay down. It's going to stick down, but I want it to stay down. So on these short ends, I'm going to add some double-sided tape to make sure it adheres and it stays. Just like that. Just tear it off. And I'll do that when we get to it. I'm going to take my little pokey tool, lift it up. Just like that. And then I'm going to carefully miter my corners. And that is because, again, I don't have the full 1/2 inch on the left and the right. So I'm just going to be extra mindful of where I'm cutting. And this is why I don't like anything less than 1/2 inch. But if you have a wide format printer, you should not have this problem. And I'm just going to take it. You can lift it up, fold it over if you want to. Or you can just use your fingers, either one, whichever one you're comfortable with. And I'm going to show you another reason why I prefer the 1/2 inch. And another thing, by this just being a demo for tonight, these are not for sale. They will actually be on my shelf for demonstration and to show purposes. But I do not care for the white border, so I would trim those off before I attach it to my chipboard. Now, this right here is another reason why I don't care for a 1/4 of an inch border. It's because when I get ready to lay my interior page on here, that means I'm going to have to take my page all the way to the edge. I don't like that. Most of the time, I like to leave a little border of my exterior cover. And I'm not going to be able to do that on the left and the right side. And even on this side, I'm still going to have to make sure everything balances out. So there's going to be very minimal of my exterior cover showing, even at the top and the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure all the way. So I'm basically going to have to do a 410.5 wide. And I'm going to have to do about a 7 1/8 in height. I'm going to remeasure that again because I know I'm going to forget, and then maybe I won't. So we're going to get our pokey tool again. We're going to remove our backing just like that. And another bonus tip, when you pre-crease your paper, it also helps you to align your chipboard. Some people like to eyeball it. I don't, but I will do it every blue moon. And again, I'm just going to carefully miter my corners because they are short on the left and the right. very carefully, just like that. Anybody got any questions? Who just popped in? Hey, Bree. Again, I'm just going to flip that up. And I forgot to add my double-sided tape just to make sure that these short ends stick down. Now, if you got some real good quality sticker papers, got their strong hold on the back, you probably won't have to do this step. But I'm doing this just as a precaution because the ends are so short. Just like that. Let me check this out because it looks like, and I'm just taking the sharp end and I'm just going under it, lifting it back up. I just want to be on the safe side just to make sure everything sticks. Lift it right on up and just fold it back over. Just like that. And then we're just going to crease the top and the bottom. Fold it over. Y'all, the kids are doing their TCAP testing. They're back in school. School's going to be out May. Woo! All right. So this is my back. And this is my front. And right there at the corner, it just says daily plans. So by me having some type of direction and some type of graphic when I get ready to punch, I need to make sure that they are lined up the correct way. So we're going to cut our interior. And I'm trying to cut all of these at once. I think I said 10 and a half wide by 7 and an eighth in height. So I'm going to grab my perfect fractional ruler. Let's try the new one, y'all. Let's try the new one. Hey! So I'm going to take my zero marking, line it up with the edge. And I said that I wanted to be 10 and a half wide. Let me get it right on the edge. Come on. Which is about right here. Just a little pencil mark. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm literally just taking the zero ending, lining it up where my sticker paper begins. And I'm going to put my little marking right there. That should be it. And if you have a mat like I have on the table, you can also line it up with your mat on the table and trim that way. So I said 10 and a half. And I'm just trimming all of them at once. And then my top is going to be 7 and 1/8. And I'm just lining it up. With my mat, and I said 1/8. Let's do this right there and right here. And we're going to trim that off. I probably should have did just one just to make sure my measurements were right. But I just thought about that at the very, very last moment. So I'm going to take one of these and we're going to take it and we're just going to make sure that it is lined up correctly. And remember, I got my backing on here. See, I knew I was going to forget my measurement. What did I say, y'all? Is it 10? No, it's supposed to be 10 and a half. Did I do 10 and a half right? Let's see. Nope, I did not. Let's try that again. I think I'm about 1/8 of an inch off. 10 and a half. I think we should be good. Now you can use plain white sticker paper. You can create your own design for the interior and place it on the inside. You can use cardstock, designer pattern paper, whatever you want for the interior of your book. So I'm just going to peel this back about a good 3/8, about 1/2 of an inch. Now, I like to lay this down, and I need to be really careful because remember I got this 1/4 of an inch double-sided tape sticking out, and a little bit of it sticking out and it's sticky. So I need to be a little bit careful laying this down. And once I get it in position, we'll go about right there, lay it down. And now I can gently lift this up. I'm going to take one of my rulers and we're just going to slide this on down. Oh, and another tip. If you feel like, again, that your sticker paper is not strong enough, you can add double-sided tape, adhesive sheets onto your chipboard before you lay down your interior. And that will also make sure everything sticks really good. And there we go. You can use your squeegee, you can use a towel, you can use your hand just to make sure everything is smoothed down. And again, remember I just said, if I had a 1/2 an inch on the left and right, I would have been able to leave at least a border of my exterior cover. Good evening, welcome in everyone. Hey Chandra. Please click the follow button, share this live to at least 5 people, and share your daily heart means. We are at 6K. Yay. Okay, so this was the back. So we're going to do the front, and we're just going to repeat those same steps. And I'm just going to fold this back about 1/2 of an inch. For those of you who peel your backings off all the way and just get it on there perfect, kudos to you. I can't chance that. So I'm going to, again, line this up before I stick it all the way down about right there. And then we're going to lift this up and then we're going to smooth it out just like that. Again, you can use your hand to smooth it out. You can use a squeegee. I always prefer something that's soft with a felt tip because you don't want to damage anything. All right, so this is our front. This is another reason why I don't like anything less than 1/2 an inch because I can't even trim off that white border. You can barely see it, but it's there. So yeah. So we got our front and we got our back. So it will look like this. And if you flip it around, and remember, I always tell you all, brand, no matter what, brand. Put your QR code on the bag, put your website on the bag, brand your work. Now y'all know I'm not gonna be branding this, and you know why I'm not gonna be branding this. So don't ask me why you're not branding it. Y'all know. Okay, so that's the front and that's the back. And then we are going to sit this to the side and we're going to grab our interior pages. So for those of you who are just coming in, these are the interior pages. I created this in Canva, designed it in Canva. I actually pulled some stuff from other notepads that I have already previously created and added new stuff to it. And this is what I came up with. And I did a landscape. We're going to bind in top. We're using cinch machine tonight. So I actually have two. I have this one, which is my circle. And I am going to be using this one as well. And the reason I'm using two is because this first generation, it only has so many wire measurements on here. And a half an inch is not one of them. This one is second generation. It does have the half inch wire measurement on here. So once I punch my holes with the circle, because I love the circles, I prefer circles over the square. And then sometimes it really depends on what I'm doing. But once I punch the circle, I will switch over to the yellow one to do the binding. Okay. So I'm going to make sure all of my pegs are punched in. I don't want these to get twisted up. Hold on. I hate when these things get twisted up, y'all. And I literally had them separated. Oh my gosh. There we go. All right, just like that. So we're going to grab our first set. And I'm just punching. Normally, I'm just going to take a few. I'm going to punch. I'm going to make sure it is flushed against that back wall. On the first round, we're going to punch them all, and then we'll go back and we'll punch the second round. So let me turn it this. Can y'all see this way? Let me make some room. All right. Can y'all see that pretty good? Hi, AB. The machine, this is the cinch machine. They're both cinch machines. The pink one is just the first generation. It only has, for the wire sizing, it only has 3/4, 7/8, 1 inch, 1 1/8 inch, and 1 1/4 inch. The yellow one, this one right here, it is also a cinch machine, but it has pretty much the mass majority, not all of the wire sizing, but it goes from 3/8 all the way up until 1 1/4. So that is why I have two cinch machines. They need to get one where it goes to 2 inches, because some wires are 2 inches and I think 3 inches as well, but it only binds up until 1 1/4 inch. And I have not tried to cinch anything past 1 1/4 inch on either one of these. So I'm just going to do my first round, and I'm just going to flip them over as I punch the first round, trying to keep everything set and in order. Oh, my hair blowing in my eye. Just make sure when you are punching, make sure y'all are putting it to the back wall and you are holding it there until you at least get your pegs down in your paper. Because the worst thing you can do is punch your paper and it's one side is all the way flush and then the other side is not. And then you'll be mad because you have to print them all over again. So for everyone that is here on TT, if you want to see the down top version, YT is up live. Where do you get them from? Oh, this one I got some years ago from the Bay with the E in front of it. For like 40 some cookies. And this one, the yellow one, came from the lobby, the H lobby. So yeah, I've had them for a while. And then I also have the mini one and the mini disc one. So now I'm just gonna flip these back over, put them back on my right side. I'm gonna slide my bar out, and I'm going to pull out peg number 8 for this. And then I'm gonna put it in the second hole, just like that, and press. And that way you should be even on both sides when you're punching. We at 7K, yay, yay. Okay, my fan blowing. So again, I'm just gonna put it in the second peg hole, and we're gonna press. And even if it's in that second peg hole, make sure it's flush to that back wall, y'all. I don't know if you heard that little click, but I did a little push to the back. I'll do it again just to make sure that I have it on that back wall. I put it in the peg again. And I just make sure I hear that little click, and I hold it, and then I press it down. Thank you for the follow. All right, and then we're gonna do that right there. Let's make sure it's on the back. And then we got the interior pages. We got those pressed. If you're a beginner and you are new, you're definitely in the right place. We're going to do a second one so that you can see the process again before we get off tonight. So now I push my pegs all the way in. I'm going to slide my bar all the way up because we're getting ready to punch our front and back covers. Again, make sure if you have directional print that you have your, because you don't want it upside down like this and your border is on the right and then you flip it over and your border is over here. So as you can see, all my borders right here, and then if I flip it back to the right, the border is over here. So you don't want to do that. So just make sure you are paying attention to the direction of your print if you have a print. So for this size that I'm doing, I am going to first adjust my guide by 1/4 inch. So you can either adjust it by 1/4 inch on the front end, or you can adjust it by 1/4 inch on the back end. Tonight, we're gonna adjust it by 1/4 inch on the front end. And also, if you still can't figure it out, this will come in handy. Either one of these will come in handy and help you out. The little one, if you don't want to use, either of the long ones, you feel like they're too long, you can use the short one. So all you have to do is take your ruler, line it up with the 0 marking, and I want it at 1/4 inch. And you can just put your thumb on your ruler and just slide it till it gets to that 1/4 inch. And then move your ruler out of the way, your measuring tape out of the way, either one. Okay, so I've adjusted. Now you have to do that first before you do your punch. Thank you for the follow. So now, See, that's the back. So this is the front. Front is facing up. And before I do that, I want to take my pokey tool, make sure I don't have anything stuck underneath. You can also lift it up just to look and make sure nothing is under there. And I'm good. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to slide it, and make sure it is flush with that back wall. Just like that. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to press. And then we're going to, come on. This is 50-point chipboard, so it may get stuck. And that's because that one didn't punch all the way. It punched, but it was still something stuck in there. But it's not damaged or anything like that. It's not damaged. So before I move my guide, I'm going to go ahead and punch my back. And again, triple, second check, third check, just to make sure it's in the right direction. It is. Now this time, our interior is going to be facing up. Okay. And then we're going to slide it to the back again. I'm going to check and make sure nothing, and it is, something is stuck right there. I got a puzzle, it just popped up. Fix my puzzle piece. There we go. Okay. So, all right, that's there. So again, make sure that your interior is facing up. And I'm sliding it in. I feel it hitting the back. I'm going to hold it in place. And I'm going to press. There we go. So now, I'm going to slide it all the way out. And the same peg number that I pulled out when I punched my paper is going to be the same number that I pulled out for the chipboard. And that was peg number 8. If you want to, you can flip this down and make it flat. You can leave it up if you want. I'm just going to leave it up. I'm putting this in hole number 2. I'm holding it and we're pressing. Lift it up. And that's our front. And we're just going to repeat it again for the back cover. Let me check again, make sure nothing is stuck up under there. Just a little piece stuck right there. Make sure you do that, because if you have a missed punch, you will have to print everything all over again, cut chipboard all over again. It's just a hot, well, you can peel it off, you know, but yeah, you just have to do work all over again. So we're going to put it again in our second hole. We're going to lock it in place, make sure it's flush to that back wall, hold it down, and press. And there we go. And again, as you can see, we have even space on both sides, okay? So now what I want to do is I'm going to sit this one to the side, remember, because we're using a 1/2 inch wire. And this one does not have the 1/2 inch wire measurement on it. So I'm just going to switch it out and grab this one. And what I want to do, let's see. YT, y'all can see it good over there. I'm going to take my wire. Now you can either count your holes that you punched and then cut your wire, or you can just put your wire on there and trim it later. Either or, whichever one works for you. So next we're going to take our interior pages and we're going to place them on first. Just like that. We at 8K, yay. Share your daily heart means. Share the live to at least 5 people. If you can share to more people, that's awesome. But share to at least 5 people and share your daily heart means. And make sure you click the follow button. We're going to have our top cover. We're going to place that on. Just like that. Make sure your wire goes through. And we're going to take our back cover and it's going to be facing down. And just make sure you lift everything up. just like that. And make sure you have some wire cutters. Try not to use your scissors to cut your wires because it can damage them. Make them dull before their time. Now, these are just some garden shears that I got from H Depot. Probably about 12 bucks, I think. But they are good, heavy duty. I've had them for a minute. And I've only used them to cut wires. I haven't used them for anything else. So now I'm going to get ready and bind. So I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to find the 1/2 inch, which is the second one. Now, I put it right on the 1/2 inch. Now, the secret to making sure that you get it closed as close as it's supposed to be is you have to go in between the neck size and your size. So you're going right in the middle. So we got 1/2 inch and then we got 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to go right in the middle, about right there. And then I'm going to take my notebook, a notepad. You're going to make sure your square is going to be on the bottom and your curve is going to be on the top. And we're going to take it and we're going to flush it against the back wall. While it is flushed against the back wall, you're going to make sure you're holding it, pressing it against that back wall. I mean, you don't want to press it too hard and you move your machine, but just make sure you're holding it firm in place. And then we're going to give it a press, just like that. And then you just slide it down. Make sure everything is good. And then press. Now my second one, for some reason, it pressed it a little bit too tight for me. So I'm just going to adjust them. But if you can see the first punch, just fine, no problem. The second punch, it pressed it a little bit too close for me. So I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit. I'm just adjusting them. Just a little bit. And it probably did that because when I was pulling them apart, I think I probably messed up one. But here you go. Let's smooth this out of the way. So we're going to flip it over. And there you have it. That's your front. That's your back. And YT, here you go. That's the front. And that's the back. So this is 31 days. So you literally have a today schedule. You can check off whether it's Sunday, Monday, Friday, whatever. You have a notes section here at the bottom. If you want to monitor your water intake, you have that. You have a daily what you're grateful for. You have that section up here. Things that you want to remember, important things you want to remember. If you got an appointment that day, you can put it in that box. If you want to keep up with like what you ate for the day, for breakfast, lunch and dinner, here you have a little important note section here. And then down here, you have a little graph section if you just want to jot some things down. Thank you. Oh, that looks wonderful. Did you create the? Yes, I did. I do my own prompts. Check the site out and you'll see a lot of goodies there. So this is one. Now we're going to do this. So if you're just coming in and you didn't catch everything, we're going to repeat the steps and we're going to do another one. The cover for this one is, we're going to do this cover right here. So I'm going to get 2 more pieces of chipboard. And all the materials and tools that I have used tonight outside of the cinch machine, they are, thank you, Miss Parker. They are not listed in the storefront, but all the other materials that I have used tonight, they are listed in the storefront. Pretty much. Oh, this came from the H Depot, so it's not listed um, in the storefront. But I think I can get one listed in there though. Hi, just jumping on. Where did you find? I create my own logo covers. I have my own prompts where I create them, so you definitely won't find them out there. Um, check the check the site out. You'll see some goodies out there. So for those just coming in, we are using 50-point chipboard. We're gonna cut them down. I am using photo glossy sticker paper, photo glossy paper. For my interior, we're just gonna use some regular white shipping label paper, but you are welcome to like create your own design and print it if you want. Um, we're doing another daily plans notepad. It's 31 sheets, so it's one for each day of the month. Even if it's 30 days, you'll have an extra one. Okay. And what else? And then we're going to use a 1/2 inch twin wire. The tools, again, you'll need your measuring ruler, measuring tape. You'll need a squeegee to smooth down. You'll need your little pokey tool, cutting mat, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and you may use some double-sided tape earlier if you missed the first part of this. Um, I love using when I do my graphics and I get ready to fold over my images. I like to use a 1/2 inch border on all four sides. I'm not using my wide format printer. I'm using a regular 8.5 by 11. So on my left and my right side, it's going to be less than a 1/2 inch. And that is why we will be using some double-sided tape just to make sure everything sticks down the way it should. Other than that, if you got some really good quality sticker paper, the adhesive is really good, you won't have to use anything extra, okay? So if you're just hopping in, the measurements for the chipboard was 10.5 by 7.25. Hello. Yeah, 7.5. Nope, 10.5 by 7.25. So yeah, if you're just coming in, we're actually getting ready to do the second one. So put that there. My ruler is here. So we're gonna do 7.25. And I'm using my rotary cutter. And again, I do have a cutter for my chipboard, but my chipboard is 12 by 12, and that particular cutter does not fit a 12 by 12, so that's why I'm cutting by hand. And then we're going to do 10.5. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to cut our second one. And again, those measurements are 10.5 by 7.25. And when you are using a rotary cutter, make sure you're being safe. If you have to use those thick protective gloves for your hand, use, do what you have to do to protect your hand. A lot of people are afraid to use the rotary cutter, but I love it. Oh, I miss my music in the background, but YT won't let us have music, y'all. Okay, again, just make sure you are checking just to make sure both your front and your back chipboards are the same size, and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to grab one of my exterior covers. And if you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome in. Click the follow button, share the live to at least 5 people, and share your daily heart means. Now, if you are new here, you don't know, but I like to pre-crease my image. It helps me to easily, hi there, it helps me to easily place my chipboard. Do you laminate the covers? 99% of the time, I do not laminate my covers. I said I was going to start laminating my covers, but for the most part, I don't. So I'm going to just pre-crease, and I'm basically just centering it on the paper. Now, if you can, well, you can't see right now, but I have less than an inch, a half inch on the left and the right. So we will be using double-sided tape. You're definitely welcome. So I'm just going to pre-crease. I'm just gently bringing it up. I'm just going to rotate it around, holding it in place. And I'm just going to gently lift it up. And this also helps me to miter my corners as well. And since I have less than a half an inch on the left and the right, I'm going to have to be really careful when I get ready to miter my corners because I don't want to cut too close. But if you do laminate, make sure that you laminate first before you do any trimming, any type of cutting. So like what I'm doing now, I would not peel off my backing. If I wanted to laminate, I would not peel off my backing first. I will go ahead and laminate. Once I laminate, if I want to trim off my white borders, which I normally do, but since my sides are less than half of an inch, I'm not going to do that. We're going to leave this on there. These are not for, well, this set that I'm making on live tonight, it's not going to be for sale. It's actually going to be for demonstration purposes, but the actual notepad, the white border wouldn't be on there. So once I've done that, now I can peel my backing off. I'm just taking my little pokey tool, lifting it up and peeling it back. And I'm just going to place it. And this is what I mean by when I pre-crease, it just helps me to see where to line my chipboard. And that way it'll be perfect as possible each time. Thank you for the follow. And I'm just going to take the corner, line it up with that corner, just like that. And just gently lay it down. Try to make sure you keep it centered before you lay it all the way down, just like that. And then I'm going to take my scissors. And this is where I'm going to be really careful mining my corners because the left and right is shorter than what I need it to be. Just like that. Anybody got any questions? And I'm just going to gently crease that up. Oh, and another tip that I mentioned earlier, if you feel like your sticker paper is not of good quality, the adhesive part, you can always use double-sided sheets or double-sided tape. Put it on your chipboard first and then attach your exterior. And that way everything will be solid and you don't have any problems with any puckering, it lifting up or anything like that. So on the left and right, I'm going to take some 1/4 inch double-sided tape, which I can get away with 1/8 of an inch if I want to. But I just grab this one. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to tear it off. I'm going to grab my little pokey tool, lift that up, and do the same on this side. And just fold it right over. And another thing that I mentioned previously is the reason why I love to have a 1/2 inch border is because I like some of my exterior image to show on the inside, but I'm gonna have to take my exterior lining, I'm gonna have to take it all the way to the edge to make sure I cover up that white border. Just like that. And then we're gonna sit this one to the side, and we're gonna repeat that for the other one. I'm just gonna center this, and I'm gonna pre-crease. Now, if you have no problem with centering your chipboard, this is just one less step that you can omit. Every now and then I will skip this step, but I guarantee you 99% of the time I'm gonna pre-crease. See, I barely have enough to fold over. I don't like that. And again, that's because I did not use my wide format printer. I used my regular Epson 2720, which only handles 8.5 by 11. I just joined. Are you making a journal? No, we are making a daily plans notepad. We're putting the second one together. So you're just in time. We're just in the beginning stages. So just like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna move this, and then we're gonna lift the backing up. Oh, thank you. And I'm just gonna peel it back. And we're gonna place our chipboard right there. Just trying to make sure you center it before you lay it all the way down. And then let's miter our corners really quick. All right, just like that. Anybody got any questions? So on the left and the right again, I'm going to put some double-sided tape because those are the short sides. And I'll show you where I got some of my, because on my pad, I pulled some from another one that we did. Two of them that we did a while back. And I will get those loaded back up on the site. I was in the middle of doing some rebranding. So I took some stuff down. This is not laminated. Someone just asked me that. 99% of the time, I don't laminate, but I am going to start laminating. At least I told myself I'm going to start laminating. And I'm just going to crease those up. Just like that. Let me grab this one. And so these are just some previous ones I did. And this is where I pulled from other designs that I created to make this one. So this is what this one looks like. And I pulled that from, I don't want to mess it up. So this is the notepad that I did. And I pulled my hourly plan from here. I pulled the things to do from here, and I pulled the water intake from here. And the the section that's down here is where I pull from these two. I'm that girl. So these are notepads as well. But if you see the design that I did in here, I added them to this one. Just, I didn't want to do a whole lot of work, so I just pulled from other stuff that I had. So that's how I came up with the design for that. All right, let's finish putting this together. All right, so we're gonna put our interior on. Our interior, I believe, was 7 1/8 by 10 1/2. So we got that right there. I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna peel back about 1/2 of an inch. Y'all, we are at 11K. Yay. And then I'm just going to line this up right on the edge. Because remember, I got that I really don't want right there. So I'm going to try to cover it up as much as I can. Let's see. Before I lay it all the way down, right there. Take my ruler. I'm going to lift this up and we're going to smooth it out. Just like that. And you can take your hand or your squeegee and just press everything in place. Thank you. Somebody said, thank you for my gift. Thank you. So that's the back. And now we're going to do the same thing for the front. Just like that. And then let's line it up. And we're going to place it down. Flip it up. Smooth it out. Oh, my ruler put a little marking on the inside. Smooth it out. Oh no, put a little crease. I wasn't paying attention. Got a little wrinkle. All right, so we got our front and our back. And again, if you have directional print, make sure you're paying attention how you are turning your thing. And I did exactly what I'm talking about. I did not pay attention. So my cherries are upside down because I was not paying attention to when I was printing the direction of my, it's supposed to be like this. And this is supposed to be over here because this is where my border is. So that was my hiccup because I wasn't paying attention when I was designing it over there. But this is just a demo for demo purpose. I mean, it doesn't look bad like that, but I just want both of my, you see how I paid attention here? They're both lined up together. I paid attention on this one, but for some reason I wasn't focused on this one. It doesn't look bad, but that's not what I wanted. So yeah. What paper for the inside? This is 28 pounds, I believe. 24, 28. I have to see which stack I grab. I don't know which stack did I grab. I don't know. It may be It could be 24 pounds that I'm using. Or it could be 28. I don't know, but it's between 24 and 28-pound paper for the notepad. Grab our cinch machine and we're going to do our punches. Now, I am one, I love the circles over the square holes. Are all of mine always punched with circle? The mass majority of my notebooks, journals, and planners are, but I do have some that are square punch. It just depends on what I'm feeling for that design. So we're going to make sure all of our pegs are pushed in. Our ruler is pushed in. And we're going to do our first round of our punches. Make sure nothing is stuck underneath. If you need to, take your pokey tool, place under there, and lift it up and look and just make sure you have nothing on there. And make sure it's flushed against the back wall. So we're going to run our first round. Press. Another press. It's a little too thick, so let's. Just like that. All right, just gonna flip it over and we're gonna punch our second round. We're just gonna slide it out. We're gonna pull out peg number 2 for this particular size paper, interior page I'm using. I'm gonna pull out peg number 8. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna place it in the second hole, punch hole. Make sure it's flush against that back wall and then press. And then remove your paper. And we're just going to repeat that until all of our pages are punched. Just like that. I do have a small library of tutorials. If you go to the TikTok link, it'll take you there for the tutorials. All right. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we got our interior pages. We have those punched, and now we're going to punch our front and our back cover. First thing I'm going to do is push my peg in, and then I'm going to slide my ruler in, and I'm going to make sure there are no pieces of paper stuck up under there. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my front cover, and before I do any punching, I tried to use the cinch machine, but when it came to pressing down the wires, it's always. Are you making? Wait a minute. When you're binding, you saying when you're binding this is where you're messing up? Because we'll be getting to that part and we'll be getting there just a minute. So we're going to punch our front cover and our back cover. So before we do any punching, for the size cover that I have for my interior pages, I have to make an adjustment. For this particular size, I'm going to adjust it by 1/4 of an inch. Now, again, everyone doesn't know how to look at the rulers and the measurements and the in-between sizes. I am one of those people. So this is one, which is a perfect fractional ruler. Perfect fractional measuring tape. This one, it is the perfect fractional ruler. If you don't like those, y'all, my new babies. Thank you. If these are not look, It is the perfect fractional acrylic ruler. I got to get some white paper so y'all can see. You see that? You can see all the measurements in between. There is no reason why you should have mismeasurements for your projects, because if you're using the perfect fractional ruler, you're lining everything up perfectly and the same measurements. And the little 1x6 came with it as well. I'm telling y'all, if you've been with me long enough, y'all know you will not see me working on this live without either one of these. Okay. Well, I just got these two, but y'all recognize this right here. All right. So I'm going to I'll take the measuring tape. I'm just going to line my 0 mark up. I'm going to place it where that 1/4 inch mark is, and I'm going to slide it to that 1/4 inch. And then I'm done. So now, TikTok, go to the TikTok profile and check the storefront. All these materials and supplies I'm using are listed there, except for the cinch machines and my these are just garden shears that I use to cut my wires. They came from the H Depot. Where did you? Storefront. Check my storefront. Yeah. Okay. So I've already adjusted my guide. My pegs are all punched in. So now we are going to make sure it's flush to that back wall. We're going to hold it in place. Once it touches my chipboard, I can freely move my hand because this is 50 points. So I need a little pressure. Just like that. And my pencil fell off the table. How many pages do you use for your journals? That is not necessary. It's really going to be the opposite way, meaning what size wires do you use for like notebooks and journals? And that solely depends on how many pages you have inside your notepad, your planners, your journals, and stuff like that. So it's basically what wire size do you use according to how many pages you have. This one, I think the paper size is 24 pounds, but I'm using 31 sheets, one for each day of the month. If you have 30 days in that month, you just have an extra sheet, over. But it's 31 sheets. I'm gonna say I grabbed the 24-pound paper, but it's still thick. You still got a nice thickness. But as you can see, for 31 pages for 24-pound papers with 2 pieces of 50-point chipboard, this 1/2 inch fits perfectly. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it freely opens, like it's not tight or anything. It freely opens up. So it depends on the thickness of your paper and how many sheets you have in there. So if you got 32-pound paper with a 50-point chipboard, a 1/2 inch is not going to work. You're probably going to have to go up to about 5/8 of an inch. So it really depends. So now we're going to take our back cover. And again, remember, I didn't flip my graphic like I was supposed to. So we're just going to go with the flow. So you're going to have your interior lining face up. Thank you for the follow. You're going to have the interior lining faced up and your exterior face down. And we're just going to first make sure we don't have anything stuck up under here. And I do right there. There we go. And then we're going to put it in. Make sure it's flush to the back. Hold it in place. Once your groove things touch your paper, then you can let it go, and then you can give it a good press. Just like that. So now we're going to slide it all the way out. The same peg number we pulled out to punch our papers, we're going to pull that same peg out. And for the paper size I'm using tonight, I'm pulling out peg number 8. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put it in the second hole. Just like that. And then hold it, press. And you should have equal amount of spacing on your left and your right margins, okay? And we're going to do our top one the same way. Just like that. Press. And there we go. We got our front and our back. And again, remember, this first generation does not have a 1/2 inch sizing. So I'm going to put this one to the side and I'm going to bring my yellow one out, which is the second generation. Thank you for the follow. So I'm going to turn it this way. Just like that. Or let me turn it around this way. We're going to grab our twin wire and we're going to hook it on the side. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and count your punch holes and go ahead and clip your wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Or you can do what most do, is go ahead and place it on there and we can trim it off later. You're going to put your pages in first. Now, if you have something like a folder, a pocket folder that you created, depending on where you place it, in the front, the back, and the middle, that's when you'll decide what order your interior is going to be laid. So I don't have any pockets that I made, so I'm just going to put my interior pages on. If it just go in nicely. Oh, come on. If you can't put them all on at one time, just take it a little bit, make sure all my pages in. So yeah. If you can't put all your pages in at one time, just take it one at a time. Let me go ahead and trim this off. Just like that. And then we're going to take our front cover facing up and we're going to place that on. And then our back cover exterior is going to be facing down and the interior is going to be facing up. What printer do you use? Inkjet. I use Inkjet. For this that I printed on was the Epson really, really basic printer, which was the Epson 2720 Eco Tank. I do have an Epson Workforce 7820. That one is an ink cartridge printer, and it is my wide format printer. I need some ink for it. That's why I didn't print wide format on it. We're out of ink. Been out of ink for a minute. I'm buying everything else but ink for it. So next I'm going to turn this, and let me just put it anywhere else other than where it's supposed to be. So the secret, as they say, the secret sauce to making sure your wire binds up. So for you that was having a problem with binding, make sure that your square is on the bottom and your curve is on the top. If you want to get that good rounded kind of C, make sure that whatever your wire size is, you're going to go to your wire size, but you're going to go in between your size and the size that's in front of it. So the first size on here is 3/8 and the second size is a 1/2 inch. We are binding a 1/2 inch. So if I go to a 1/2 inch, which is right there, I'm not going to bind right there. I'm going to go in between 3/8 of an inch and my 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go right in the middle, just like that. And now I'm going to be ready to bind. So as you can see, I'm holding my wire. The flat is on the bottom. The rounded is on the top. I'm going to make sure it is flushed against the back. At the same time it's flushed against the back, I'm holding it firm, but I'm not holding it too hard to where it's going to move my cinch machine. I'm holding it in place, and then I'm going to press down just like that. It's still firm against the back wall. I'm just going to take my hand And I'm just going to slide it down to where it's not pressed. And then I'm going to punch it just like that. Now this happened. I don't know why this is doing this, but I'm going to show you. If you were here earlier when we bind the first one, as you can see, that first punch, it binds it perfectly. Didn't move it, slid it down, and it binded a little bit tighter. I don't know why it's doing that. That's really strange to me. And this really hasn't happened before, so I don't know why. But all I have to do is literally just bring them out a little bit. That's all. Maybe I moved my hand. I don't know. And it's just the last, 6 at the end, just like that. So YT, if you can see, just like that. And all we have to do, move our machine out of the way, like that. And we're just gonna flip it over, just like that. And you have your front daily plans. That's the end. Hold on, y'all. I still left them a little bit too tight. Call myself loosening it up. Oh no. All right, let's see. Let's see, did I loosen it up? Nope, I still did not loosen it up. But here we have our plan. And then, again, it's 31 sheets. I didn't loosen it up. But there you have it. And you can add other things on the inside. You can add pockets. You can add plain lined paper on the inside. You can add graph paper on the inside. You can make them bigger. You can make them smaller. This one is not a full 8.5 by 11, but if you have a wide format printer, you can make 8.5 by 11. You can do half letter size. You can basically create whatever size you want. Anybody got any questions? I hope I was able to help you at least create your first notebook, notepad, binding at least. We're getting back to our tutorials. I do already have tutorial videos up. If you go to my TikTok links, go to my TikTok profile and go to my TikTok links, it'll take you right there. If you know, we have to speak in code, so I can't call out the name because it will say that I'm redirecting you to another platform. So just go to my TikTok profiles and go to the TikTok links, and it'll take you to everywhere you want to go. So anybody, thank you for the follow. Anybody got any questions? Any questions? The let's see. I guess I can show you the last set of dashboards we did. I know I've been getting some requests for, what is it? A6 personal wide. I have not started doing A6 personal wide yet, but the A5 standard and the A5 personal wide. Not all of the dashboards have the A5 personal wide, but I'm working on that. Those that are asking for the A6 personal wide, it's going to be a minute. I'm adding them slowly. Hi, Grace. How are you? So I think this is one of the last sets we did. I had the leopard print, and I was getting some inboxes for zebra print. So here is the zebra print right here. What is the best one? I love my cinch machine. I don't care what anybody says. I love my cinch machine. And I have 2 other binding machines, the 4-to-1. I have a manual one, and I have the electric one as well. But I do love the cinch machine. So yeah. But this is the zebra print, y'all. That's so cute. But I'm in the process of working on other sizes for the dashboards. We got, this is the leopard print. If you've already ordered from me, y'all Coach Planner babes, y'all love y'all dashboards. I got you covered though. I got you covered. So yeah, this one is the leopard print. This is what kicked it off. Cover paper is, I printed on photo glossy, yes, adhesive paper. We got our, I'll show you that one in a minute. Now these are A5. Did you have designer? What do you mean, just me? Do you have? If you're talking about these, I'm showing them to you now. And also, if you go to the TikTok link, it'll take you where you can see them up close. You're welcome. And they do come punched. The ones you're seeing now, they're not punched, but they do come punched. And for those of you who like to do these savings envelope, I'll show you those as well. These are from prompts that I created. So you won't find them out there unless somebody do what they do. This one is Tiffany. Try not to. I said I'm gonna do another set for Tiffany. I only have one set for Tiffany. I'm gonna do another. I gotta think what design I want to do. What designs I want to create for Tiffany. These, I'm gonna bring this one back. It's sold out right now, but I'm gonna bring this one back. I've had a couple extra dividers, monthly dividers. So I'm gonna bring these back. I don't know if it's gonna be exactly this set, but I'm going to bring the monthly dividers back. If you are not a lover of Coach or Chanel, if you are Louis lover, I'll show you this one. This one is a holiday thing more so. This one is more so your everyday thing. Y'all, we at 14K. Yay. Yes. And this one. And the holiday theme. And again, I'm coming up with more prompt ideas for new designs. But you do have a variety on there already to choose from. Thank you for my heart me's. Click the follow button, share the live to at least 5 people. Again, this set is the holiday theme. And then we have, let's see. Did I do this one? I think I did that one. Let me know, did I do? I think I did that one. Now this set right here is if you are a real organizer and you really like to organize your planners, have them separated. Hey, how are you? So if you really like to organize your planners, this set is probably more for you. I'm okay. The services is going to be Saturday. And then this one. So this one is more for the organized planner babe. So that's some of the dashboard. The if you are into, if you're doing the I forgot y'all then. So there are 2 sets of the clear vinyls. Now these are already set. So if you are just getting into the planner community and you don't know where to start, this one is already put together for you. So it's 2 sets. All done by hand, all done by me. So there are 2 sets. So we got this set right here. This is more of an A5 set. So it comes with your little I guess this is more like a personal wide dasher. And then you get 2 bookmarks, that one and that one. And then you get your 1, 2, 3, you get 4 tabbed dividers. This one says monthly, and you will get your monthly interior pages. Where is January at? Did I move January? Hold on. Let me make sure I ain't moved January, y'all. We got February, March, April. I hope I didn't move it. Or maybe I just put a couple in there. But you got your monthly. You have a little kind of like affirmation for your monthly. It is a 2-page layout, if I can get it open. It's a 2-page layout, and you also have a little writing section on the side there. You get your weekly divider, and you have your weekly header page, and it also has a little affirmation, and it's a 2-page layout as well. And then we go into your, what's the next one? Daily. So if you're not a weekly person and you prefer the daily, you have your daily. I can't think how many is the daily, but it should be enough for the month, if I'm not mistaken. And then here you have your notes tab, and you have your dividers. So this is your starter planner, and you can add and remove. Now, as you can see, for this ring size, it filled it up pretty nicely. It filled it up pretty nicely. But as you fill up your pages, you remove pages and add pages in. So this is, if you don't know where to begin, this is a great starter for you. And the second version, it's the same thing, but different design. You get the same thing. You get your personal wide little divider. You get your daily. I just got them in a different order, but it's the same. You got your daily. You get your 2 bookmarks. That's one. It's another divider. That's your monthly divider. And you got your months in here. You'll get 12 months, January through December. There is your second bookmark. And you got your weekly. I don't know how I got my dividers out of order, but you got your weekly. Don't ask me how I got these out of order, but here is your weekly divider and your notes. And you have your notes here. Let me put this in the right order. But again, I do create mock-ups so that when someone asks me, I will try to have something to show them. So that's our monthly. I don't know how I got the weekly out of order. So yeah, let's me put these in order. We at 17K. Yay. I don't know how I got that out of order, but I did. So those are the 2 versions for your transparent planners. And again, these are really good for those who are just getting into the planner community and they don't know where to start. So these are a great starter point. And if you are doing the savings challenge, we have your LV set, which is self-care, utilities, pay down your loan, miscellaneous, got rent or mortgage, your groceries, if you're saving up for birthday gifts and stuff, your entertainment, you're saving up for gas, transportation, emergency funds, and what's this? Household. Lord, did I? This is demo, y'all, but I put it upside down. And vacation. I've got to pay more attention to what I be doing. But these are demos, so they will not go out for sale. And these are nice size openings too, y'all. So you have plenty of room to put your cookies in. Now, this one is the 12-month savings challenge. So each month you'll save up $100. So by December, it'll be 1,200 cookies. And as you can see, you save up different dollar amounts that will equal up to 100 cookies at the end of the month, right? This is the 12-month, $1,200 savings challenge. And I changed, the dollar amount so that it doesn't get boring and dull. Thank you. And that one. Now this one, I remember this one. I left the numbers off, but corrected it. So in the actual design, there is a dollar amount on it. Thank you, Miss Carolyn. And then the last set, which I think these are really cute. Again, it's plenty of room for you to put your cookies in. Is my battery? Yeah, my battery good. But I think these were cute. So you got your rent and your mortgage. You got your gas, transportation, credit card, your utilities, cell phone, miscellaneous, any just regular savings, cookies you're trying to save, entertainment. You want to go shopping, save up some shopping. You got some loans you need to pay down, medical expenses, your Wi-Fi, and your internet. So yeah. Anybody got any questions? I think that's all. The last one is the mini bookmarks, y'all. I think these are so freaking cute. These are the mini bookmarks. These are so cute. That's plans to do. I'll show you how to put them on there in just a second. Faith, miscellaneous. That's daily, monthly, notes, weekly, brain dump. Thank you. This one is Bible study. You're reading your Bible, you're studying the Bible, and you got to get up and do something. You can put your bookmark in its place, and you got budget. So if you are if you're reading a book, if you are at the doctor's office, whatever, they call your name, you can have your little bookmark. You can put it in place. Now, you can't put like a whole bunch of pages right there, but it's enough to where I think that one is just too many pages. But you see, and you close it, and you got your little tab at the top. If you don't want it at the top, you can place it on the side. You can have multiple. Let's see. You have them at the side. You can place them at the top. So wherever you want to place them, you can place them at the side or you can place them at the top. Put your finger there and you go right to it. Put your finger there, go right to it. This one at the top, you put your finger right there and you go right to it. So these are so cute. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if these that I put them as a set or if I put them as individual. I can't remember. But anybody has any questions before we sign off for tonight? If you're just coming in, we created 2 of the notepads, which is right here. The interiors for both of them are the same. I will get these listed. Now, I don't know if these are going to have the same design on the front. I might switch up the design, but for the interior note pages, These are the interior pages. Okay. Anybody got any questions before we end tonight? If not, do as always, you can inbox me with your questions. And as you know, when I get the time or when I do see it, I will try to respond. You can always send me an email, which is the Stationery Chic 901 at gmail.com, and I can respond that way. I got a question. I got a question. Maybe someone can help me with this answer. Why do I ask this last time? Why do they come in your inbox and they ask you all these questions as far as what they want? But as soon as you tell them to email you, and I had one beautiful lady, she had no problem, emailed me everything she wanted, not a problem. But I have this one person, as soon as I told her to email me all her descriptions and what she wanted, now she was messaging me back and forth just fine, no problems through the DM TikTok DMs. But as soon as I told her to email me everything, she wants and be specific, it stopped. Like, what was that all about? At some point, willing you explain the difference in paper choices? Yes. 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 Would you like for me to do that now? As a lesson? Ew. I mean, as a lesson, it would be easier for me to, well, you know what? I'll probably do a video for y'all and I'll send it over there. You know where it's going to go. I'll do a video, maybe on a live. But that's what I was saying. You want me to do it now? I'm on live now if you want me to do it now. We at 19K. Now she said a recording is great. Okay, let's take a poll in the comments. Who is interested in learning about the difference in the paper? If you are interested, just give me a 1. If you are interested in learning about the difference in the paper, give me a 1. YT, y'all over there, if you want to know the difference in the paper as well, give me a 1 in the comments. Oh, I did not see you creating with Tuck. Hey. Oh, you said you couldn't see. I am literally just seeing y'all comments over here. I am so sorry. Cinch is the best strong. Yes. I am so sorry. I'm just seeing you. Okay, Carolyn. Who else we got? One, one, one. We got three. Three. Okay, I got more than one. So let's do this. Let me get the paper. Let's get the paper. Ooh, my whole pack tore up. Let me get another pack. That whole pack tore up. Okay. So the one paperweight I do not have, which is your regular 20-pound copy printer paper. I don't have that. I'm out of it. Under no circumstances do I recommend. Hey, I'm doing okay. I am. Blessings to you as well. I was trying to have you mess up your workspace. Girl, I'm all right. I'm okay. Um, because while I'm doing this, I'm fixing to be putting some stuff up. So I have the 24, 28, 32-pound paper. Um, when I'm in a crunch, I'm gonna order my pen and gear. I don't care what nobody says. Be judgmental. You can order the Astro Bright all you want to, but y'all, pen and gear, it's good quality in my opinion. Let me put it that way. In my opinion, it's good quality. I started off with Hammer Mill, 32-pound paper, but that's because I was doing a lot of planners and journals. I was doing very minimal of like notepads and stuff like that. So 32-pound paper was my pretty much everyday paper because of the planners and the journals. Now I've kind of switched some things up according to what project I'm doing. So I do not recommend 20-pound paper under any circumstances for a simple notepad, notebook. I just don't recommend it. Now, when you go to like the D Tree and their paper is thin, but I don't believe that it is the same quality as the regular 20-pound paper. For some reason, I just think the 20-pound paper is even thinner than that paper that's at the D Tree. But hey, D Tree has some good little notebooks. You just get what I'm saying? So it really depends. I don't recommend it, but hey, Hammer Mill is costly. It is. It is. Um, and that's because I'm only going to use it if I am making monthly planners. You know, your monthly, weekly planners and stuff like that. That is what that's what my Hammer Mill is for. Now I'm going to kind of steer away from Hammer Mill, or I need to check out some other lines of their 32-pound paper because they have other lines of paper. This is premium color copy. They have another 32-pound paper that's in like a blue and white. So I need to see the difference in those because when I put this white up against another white, it's dull. I know y'all can't see that through the phone, but Hammer Mill is it's just dull. This pen and gear is a lot brighter than this Hammer Mill. I don't like that. Because say for instance, I'm printing a project and I run out of this Hammer Mill, but I got some pen and gear. the colors don't match, and your customer is going to notice that. So that's why I don't like that. Now let's get to the paperweight. The paperweight, y'all, it is truly, and let me make this disclaimer. This is just my personal opinion. Let me get in the camera frame. This is just my personal opinion, okay? Depending on what projects you are working on, to me, determines what paper you're going to use. Now, when I do my notepads, like, so this been sitting on my press for a minute. But when I do my notepads like this, just little simple writing notepads, I would prefer to use 24-pound paper. And the backing, I think, is 20 point. So, and I think I used 24-pound paper. That's just for simple notepads, whether you're using plain white pads or if you're printing on them for little notepads to me, I think 24-pound paper works perfect. Hi there. Now, if you want your notepads to be a little heavier in weight, then go with the 28-pound paper. If you want a little bit heavier weight and just your simple everyday notepads, because they're going to get wrote on, they're going to get balled up, and they're going to be tossed in the garbage. It's not like a planner where someone is going to write on it and they're going to be using it throughout the month or 3 months, 6 months, depending on how you design it. For notepads, memo pads, 24-pound, 28-pound paper. That's totally a preference. Me, I prefer to go with 24-pound paper again for just little simple notepads. Now, if you don't want all three, then make a choice to go between 24 and 28. Now, what I was thinking about doing on my own is eliminating my 24-pound paper and just using 28 and 32. I will use my 28-pound paper for my regular notepads, memo pads, and my notebooks. When I say notebooks, I mean simple notebooks with just line pages. Dot grid pages, graph paper, I would just use 28-pound paper. Would I use 32-pound paper for regular line paper? No. Unless your business is presented as top tier luxury design, blah, 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 use 32-pound paper for everything that you create, including your little memo pads. But for just regular line sheet pages, I would use, again, either 24 or 28-pound paper. But if you don't want to have all three, go with 28-pound paper for your line pages, dot grid pages, graph pages, a simple notebook, okay? If you are creating interactive journals, monthly planners, devotionals, stuff like that, use 28 to 32-pound paper, preferably 32-pound paper. I say 32 for your monthlies. You can get away with 28 for your devotionals and your sermon notes and interactive journals like that. Now, let's get into the weight of the paper. Well, before I move on to that, anybody got any questions before we move? Hey, Tuck, was you over? Oh, you went from YT to over here because I did not see you over there. Oh, wait a minute, is that another Tuck? Creating with Tuck. Hold on, Tuck. Are you the same one? Oh, you said yes. Okay, because I didn't see you over there. Oh my goodness. So anybody got any questions before we move on to the weight of the paper? Thank you so much for clarifying the paper. Oh, y'all definitely welcome. I tell y'all, as long as you engage, any questions you have, if I have the answer, I will give you the answer. But I can't answer if y'all don't talk to me. Okay, so let's get into the weight of the paper. Now, the best way for you to determine how thick your paper is by the GSM number. Your GSM number is going to either be GM or GSM. I'm going to get another pack and show y'all in just a second. But it's going to be right here. This is 90. Thank you for the follow. The 28-pound paper GSM is 105. And baby, you can tell the difference in the weight of the paper. And your 32-pound weight paper, the GSM on it is, let's see if it gives it to me. GSM. It is 120. And it's literally right here where it says 32-pound paper, it's got 120. So the lower the number in the GSM, the lighter the paper. And you really got to be careful with it because I'm going to show you something else. Now, these three right here, first time on, thank you for these. You're welcome. So these three right here, your 28, your 24, your 28, and your 32. Oh, let's see. Make sure y'all see. Okay, so your 24, your 28, your 32. These are all good for printing. Well, let me rephrase it. All of it is good for printing, but it's going to depend on what you're printing. Regular interior pages, or are you printing for like dividers and stuff like that? So your 24, your 28, your 32, that's solid for your interior pages, and the GSM determines the weight, the thickness of the paper. Okay. So slide this up for a second. So let's bring these in. One of these I wrote on. I got another one that I wrote on. Okay. This one is 65 pounds. This one is 90 pounds. So we got 65, we got 90, we got 110 pounds, and this is 100 pounds. All right. The 65 pounds says the GSM is 176. I literally have on here good for printing cover sheets, printing planner dividers, and flip ups for notepads. So when I say flip up for notepads, I mean, do I have one in here? Let's see. Okay, I don't have one. Hold on. Okay, so here's the notepad that I created, right? So if I wanted a cover other than my regular 24, 28-pound paper, if I wanted to flip up, I literally wrote on here that this weight, hey, how are you? So you can hear that. This is thick enough. It's not too thin and it's not too heavy, too thick for just a simple flip up. This is 65 pounds. 176 grams. GSM, not grams, GSM. Okay. This one, did I write on this one? This one is 90 pounds and weight, but it's 163 GSM. Now watch this. Remember what I just said. This is 65 pounds, 176 GSM. This GSM is higher than this GSM, but the paper weight of this is heavier than this. Now watch when I pull one out. This to me can go in my printer and print. The GSM is lower. The GSM for this one is higher than this one. I got on here that I would use this as like a cover for a planner or a divider. I can literally use this as an interior because the GSM. This, if I want to use this as a divider, I probably would put like 3 mil laminate on it and use it as a divider. But I will use this they almost feel the same, but in my hand, this feels lighter than this one, even though the paper weight is 90 and this paper weight is 65. It really depends on what you're trying to do. Okay. So let's go to the next one. This one is 100 pound weight, but what's the GSM? The GSM on this one is hold on, that's wrong. The GSM on this one is 271. And I have on here, I have 100 pound cardstock, and I said perfect for covers, and I got to laminate. I don't have to laminate it because this is actually thick enough on its own to use as a divider, which, did I do that? Let's see. I actually did that. So I have some pre-cut dividers. These are not on the website. I had took these down. I probably will put them back up. But as you can see, I use them because they're thick enough on their own. I use them as a divider. The GSM on this is 271. The higher the GSM, the thicker your paper is going to be. What was the... Say it again, Sean. 271. Yes. This was the GSM was 271 and it's 100 pounds. Okay. What you call Miss Tavia? Miss Tavia was struggling with this as well, but she's not on the live tonight, so she's gonna miss this. So this is 100 pounds. The GSM on this is 271. Okay, this one. Now this is a trip. This one is 110 pounds in weight, but the GSM is 199. Now I also have on here perfect for planner dividers. So this weighs more than this by 10 pounds. 10. This is 100. This is 110. But the GSM on here is 271. So you know this is way thicker. This is 199. It's still thick, but it's still thick. I think I used the dividers with this one right here, but this is still thick enough to where you can use as a divider. You can use it as a flip up for one of your notepads, memo pads, or stuff like that. It's still thick enough for that. That's why I'm getting ready to narrow down to what it is that I am going to be using specific things for. Because as you can see, when you are starting out in the stationery business, you are, at the end of the day, you are going to spend a lot of cookies on testing out what's going to work for you and what's going to work for your business. So I've been doing stationery since right before COVID, about 2018, something like that. And I literally, here we are in 2026. I'm literally just now narrowing down to what I actually like. I love pen and gear. I think the quality is good. Will I switch? I don't know. I said I wanted to try the Astro Bright. I think it's Astro Bright. I said I wanted to try that and see if the cookies is it worth it, or should I stick with my pen and gear, because I love my pen and gear. Um, these two right here, I'm going to narrow it down to which ones I want to keep for my dividers, because I have a wide format printer, so it will fit in there. Um, yeah, I do. I don't care what nobody says. A lot of people talk bad about pen and gear because it comes from Wallet World and it's affordable, but the quality is good. The paper is good. So a lot of people are stuck on brand names. And I mean, I can't do anything. I can't control that, but the quality is good to me. So yeah. But I am in the process of narrowing it down to what I want to use for my dividers. And that way I can keep my costs down. And when I order, my paper will all match. It will all be the same. Because right now I only have literally just this one stack of they really don't. They really don't. I only have this excuse me. I only have this stack of 32-pound paper left because it's good quality. Hammer Mill is good quality. Yes, it is expensive, but the bright that it says it is, the bright white that it says it's not. When you put it up against another white piece of paper, it's dull. It's duller than the other paper. And I love Hammer Mill. I love the feel of the paper. I like the way it prints on the paper. I just don't want to be in the middle of an order, a project, run out of this paper, but I got tons of the other paper and the color don't match. So yeah, that's the only other thing. Oh, we hit 26K. Yay. Anybody got any questions before? I think that's it. Pay attention. So depending on your GSM, the higher the GSM, the thicker the paper is going to be. Even though this 110, where is it at? This 110-pound paper is more than this 100-pound. The GSM on this one is higher than this one. You're welcome. You say you took notes? Of course, of course, of course. So yeah, if you're just doing regular memo pads, notepads, and just line notebooks, go with your 24-pound paper and your 28-pound paper. It doesn't have to be, the PNG. It can be whatever brand, but just don't use the heavyweight paper on something that's going to be used really quick, balled up, and tossed out. Because lined notebooks, once you fill those up, you're done. I'm about to log off. Gotta go in. Okay, thank you for hanging out. I know you hate going in. I know you hate going in now. And I can't even find a work from home. Like, everybody find a one, but I can't find one. You said, Chad, I know you hate going in. Oh my goodness. But thank you for hanging out with me, lady. Anybody got any questions? You said so far. Grad bands. What should we use? For grad fans, what did I use for these? Hold on. Oh, I just bent this. Oh my god. For these, I used I think both sticker paper. I literally just bent this in the doggone thing and pulled it back out. I used good night. I want to say I use probably this 65 pound, but I layered it with the photo glossy sticker paper. And I put, a little stick in the middle. So, and it made it, with both the sticker paper on the front and the back, and then this weighted paper, it made it even a little more solid. Y'all got to remember that yes, you want all of your products to be quality, but at the end of the day, y'all, unless they like keeping stuff like this as what they call it memorabilia, and they keep stuff like this, baby's gonna end up in the garbage. I only got these because I keep them as demo for projects that I do. Sometimes I hold on to them, and whatever is left, I just hold on to them to show. So, but for this, I think I used this paper, which was 65-pound paper, and I used the photo glossy um, sticker paper on the front and on the back. And a lot of people ask me, do I laminate? This is not laminated. It's been pulled in and out of my little cubby thing plenty of times. And as you see, I just showed you one that I literally just bent. And I did that. I must have, when I put it in the last time, I wasn't paying attention and it got bent. But I want to show y'all something. And I can't answer this question, so I'm going to tell you right now. As far as I know, this photo sticker paper that is on here is the photo sticker paper I've been using for years. I recently just went out on a limb and tried another brand from the Zon. But if you look, y'all, and as you can see the year that's on here, there are no scratches. And I've been pulling this in and out of my little cubby bin for a minute. I'm really trying to see, like, is it like damaged scratches? I can see one like right there at the bottom, scratch there. But these are not laminated, okay? I said I was going to start trying to incorporate laminating on my books and stuff, but I got a little bit of nail. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's not scratched. Now, when you first print on photo glossy paper, you do need to let it sit for as long as you can. The longer it sits, the more that ink settles in there. Now, the only thing it's not going to protect it from is if you maybe waste something on there. I mean, it's probably won't even get damaged, but I know when you laminate, if you waste some liquid or something on your book, it's easy to get up and wipe off. It doesn't get damaged. But I literally, and I have some nail right there. So now I just did this. But as you see, when I was scratching up and down, there it didn't damage it. So I mean, you do need a good quality of ink. My ink comes from the Bay with the E in front of it. I buy it in the bottle. I think y'all seen me refill some of my things before. So I literally get these. I buy them by the bottle. Oh, hold on. So yeah, I get them, and it comes in a set, with your colors in there for whatever printer that you have. Um, so as long as you got a good quality ink, if your sticker paper is of good quality, you know, you should be pretty good without laminating. I know they do have, I think, waterproof, sticker paper or something like that. I've never purchased waterproof sticker paper. I do have some, I think, waterproof printable slide paper or something like that. I haven't even used that before. But this is not laminated. It's straight sticker, photoglossy sticker paper. But yeah, and this is my grandbaby. This is the oldest grandbaby. The baby grandbaby is 10. She is at TSU and she graduates May 1st or May 8th. So yeah, she's graduating business major. But yeah, anybody got any questions? I love listening to you. I've learned a lot listening. Oh, that is so nice. Thank you. Anybody got any questions that I can answer? And if I don't have the answer, maybe when I come back on the live, I have an answer for you. But I try to answer, what I know. Miss Carolina, you know you are welcome, lady. But yeah, just pay attention. So my final thoughts for the paper. If you want to do dividers, make sure your GSM is at least above, I'm gonna say 260. You can probably get away with 250 for a divider, but definitely if you want to use it for a divider, make sure your GSM is 260 and above. What now, girl? I can't tell you that. I have to Google that one. Now I feel bad because you have to put girl, it's right up. When I rearrange this right over there. I got my little cubbies where everything go. That's why I'm trying to stay organized now. You're fine, girl. Don't worry about that. That's why I cleaned out the other stuff before I put the paper on here. We good. Anybody got any questions? Dividers, 260 and above for your dividers. This particular GSM, 271. If you want to do your regular interior pages for your, I'm going to say, interactive journals, devotional journals like. Like this one right here. If you are doing interactive journals, go with 28-pound paper. Okay. 28-pound paper. GSM is 105. Okay. 105. If you got 28-pound paper with a higher GSM, that's for your interactive journals. You can use 28-pound paper for your line notebooks, and you can use 28-pound paper for your little memo pads like that. You can just make 24 weights and 90 G. That's good. Now, this is just me personal. That's good for me to do strictly notepads. If you want to do 24-pound weight for your line pages, you can. If your customers are not complaining about the quality of the paper, why not? Just when you are doing interactive journals, monthly planners, up the quality of your paper. You're welcome. You're welcome. Any more questions? I saw some on sale and wasn't sure. Which one did you see on sale? We're at 29K. Yay. Because I think at Wally World, I think the 24 runs about 8 something cookies, close to 9 cookies. And the 28 pound runs close to 13, I think. Everybody left the. Oh, his daughter's forever. I'm not seeing y'all over there. So let me end the stream on TikTok. I mean on YT. Thank you for the follow. I'm finna end the live over here because I sure was talking to the camera over there. That's why I